evening, all, and welcome to Calberter's Corner for this week's Whatcha Playing Wednesday. I am Lord Calberter Geiler, companion of the Meridian Cross, companion of the Argent Comet, companion of the Argent Lamp, Osprey, and Reaper, coming to you live, as always, from the Barony of the Osprey on the southern coast of Meridia's. Today, I'm joined by my good friend, Fechin O'Huiggin, Squirrel Casino Magnate, games player, and general crafty guy. Welcome, Fechin.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm glad to have you back. It has been 3 months? I think April was the last time you and I got to play a game together. So I'm happy to have you back on here. So today's topic is backgammon, or nard, if you want to use the fancy Persian word for it. So let's jump right into that. Give me a second. Let me share my screen here, and we'll get into do a little handout work. So backgammon is I make this joke in most of my streams that backgammon is the oldest recorded game in history. So it's literally every other game I've tried to look at. From what I can find, backgammon is probably one of the older ones. So about 3000 BC. But it also is the one that has, out of the ones we looked at, has been the most well documented and seems to be the most consistent. There's sort of one major change that occurred going from 3 dice to 2. Other than that, it's been about the same game from about 3000 BC till yesterday, frankly. So it outdates chess, it outdates Go, all the TOEFL games. It seems to be a precursor to a lot of those. Now, that's at least the documented things we can find, right? So we have a lot of games that could have been before, could have been played before, but weren't written. So we're working off of the extant examples in the documentation we have. Like some of those we've done, backgammon is a form of race game or chase style game where the two opponents will move around the board. In this case, we're doing opposites. So one of us will be moving from one side to the other, and then the other will be going from that to the other. And basically, the first one to get off the board, all the pieces off the board, wins the game. As I mentioned, the first, really the only change for backgammon was when it originally started, it was a 3 dice game, moved to 2. I haven't found any differences in the boards or the rules other than the number of dice. So I thought I haven't really found a reasoning for why 3 dice to 2. I'm sure it exists, but my research through is not that strong. A little fun fact about backgammon, it was often outlawed, or at least they tried to. Like mini games, because it's so simple. So this is a very common game. This is not like chess where it requires specific pieces or things like that, where they were a game more of the nobility. But it was you literally need some checkers and some stripes on the ground or some triangles on the ground. They tried to outlaw it because it was gambling and it was games, but they just gave up on it. The first published rules that were not, there have been written accounts of the first published rules were in the mid-1700s, with the newest change coming in the 1920s, give or take, which is when the doubling cube was added. I haven't really talked about the doubling cube much in this. It is very much a casino, sort of the gambling style of backgammon. I'm not a huge fan of it. I like just playing the game out, but the doubling cube is the other rule that has changed, just much more recent. All right, so to play, let me scroll down here. You need a board with 24 lines of points, 12 per side, and 30 tokens, 15 of 2 different colors. And then, of course, you need your 2 6-sided dice. Or you can play it on Board Game Arena, and you don't need any of that. You just click a button, and Board Game Arena does it for you. All right, so play begins with all 30 pieces on the board in the following arrangement. So you can see there. So this is white is sitting on one side, red is sitting on the other side, and the pieces are arranged as such. Now, this is where the interesting thing comes up. So Keith and I have played this game hundreds of times. And when we first started playing, we actually played it backwards. We didn't realize we were playing it backwards, but we looked at the rule book and just built it out and played it. It was lovely. So I actually enjoy playing it backwards better than I do by the traditional rules here, because there are less of the players' home pieces on their home board. So it makes it a little more challenging. But this is the actual legal, technical way. So the goal is for each player to move their pieces around from their home board, or from the opposite board rather, to their home board and off. So red would be starting on the bottom, going to the left and around, and then white would be starting on the top, going to the left and around. Pieces can only move in one direction, so they only can move forward. They can never move backwards. And play usually begins by each player rolling a die, highest roll going first, or you can flip a coin, or wrestle in the street, whichever your preferred method of choosing who gets to go first. All right, so moving. Each turn consists of rolling 2 dice and then moving of pieces. Now, this is the most complicated part of backgammon, in my opinion, because of how moves can be determined. And I've got it sort of detailed out there, but I'll give you the Cliff Notes version here. So there's 2 variations of moves: doubles or not doubles. All right, so not doubles is first. With not doubles, so 2 non-alike numbers of 3 and a 4, for instance, you get to move 2 checkers, those number of spaces, or 1 space or 1 checker of the total number. So with a 3 and a 4, you can move 1 4 and 1 3, or you can move 1 7. Now, the larger of the 2 having to be used first is apparently a house rule variant that apparently is not as common as I thought it was. So it's a rule, when I play, that's the rule I use, that the larger number used has to be used first, because it actually makes it a little more challenging. But, as usual with games, decide what your rules are, just make sure your opponent agrees with you and play it as you wish. Now, with doubles, this is where it gets interesting. And I usually use I keep a second set of dice around for this very reason. It helps with counting. So with doubles, any match numbers, essentially the dice actually double as well. Mike, can you have something?
So this will come up later when we get to captured pieces.
Right.
So in the case of the 3 and the 4, I'm moving 7, but I'm actually moving 3 and then 4, or 4 and then 3, which means that I could capture a piece in between that set, depending on which rule set we're playing with.
Right. See, that's actually, and that's how I think where Keith and I figured out that how the rule was weird with that, because I actually disagree with that as a rule. If you're moving 7, so basically the same checker can't be moved twice with that same. So if you move 3 and 4, you can't move the same checker twice. So you either move 1 3 and a different one 4, or one of them 7, and if they full 7 at a time. Again, that's what rules variant. I don't know what rules we're playing by today. Actually, we'll have to figure that out as we go. I'm not sure what rules Board Game Arena uses, but we'll check that before you start playing. But yeah, so I agree. So that's another rule variant as well, is whether that 3 and 4 can be the same checker or it has to be different checkers. And that comes up actually with the doubles as well, because you've got those numbers, the amount of numbers that are there. All right, so with doubles, you literally take the number of numbers you have and double it. So for instance, if you roll double 2s, you effectively have rolled 4 2s. And every combination of those numbers then can be used. So if you have 4 2s, you can move 1 checker 8 spaces, or a 6 and a 2, or a 4 and a 4, or a 2 and a 2 and a 2 and a 2, or a 4 and a 2 and a 2. Any combination of those things. Again, when I play, the same rule applies. You have to use the larger numbers before the smaller numbers. And you look at you can't move the same checker twice rules. Again, agree with your opponent which is appropriate before you play. Let's see. All right, a couple special things for moving. Excuse me. All right, any point with 2 or more pieces on it is considered safe, of the same color is considered safe, which means your opponent can't land there. A piece with only 1, or a place with only 1, is vulnerable. If your opponent stops their movement, so their last point of movement is on a single of your pieces, that piece is ejected and moved back to the center bar. So that center bar being here, which is really just off the board. Traditionally, it was always moved to the center bar, but there's no actual reason it has to go to the bar, other than showing which ones are on the bar and which ones have been removed from the game, I guess, or have gotten off. And then any point occupied by the player's piece can be moved onto by that player as well. So if you have one on one of yours, you can move another one on top of it, and so on and so forth. There isn't actually a rule. Again, traditionally, there may be somewhere of how many pieces you can have on a point. Most boards I've seen only hold 5 if you look at the size of the board. But again, that depends on your size of the board, your size of your checkers. But there's no actual rule about saying that it can't have more than 5. All right, captured pieces. So this is pieces that have been removed from the board by being captured or bounced off, bared off, whichever you want to call it. Pieces have been captured and moved to the center bar, and they have to re-enter the board from their opponent's inner board, so the opposite or the home board of the opponent. Basically, the starting point, your furthest away point. And you must start that with a legal move, and they have to that piece has to move before any of the pieces can be moved. This can effectively mean you don't get a turn for a couple turns. The problem with that is if you've got your opponent has a lot of pieces in their home board, and there's a lot of spaces that are being blocked, you can't move out too. And then lastly, to win the game, player must bear off or remove all of your own pieces. This cannot be done, however, until all pieces are moved into your inner table, inner board, or your home board. So basically, you've got to get all your pieces around to your home board, and then they can be removed. Now, one of the cool things, or one of the easy parts about Backgammon, unlike some of the other race games, is to remove the piece off the board does not require an exact roll. So anything higher than 2, higher than 3, whatever number you need to get off the board, also will work. Obviously, you want to move your higher pieces off first, but you have a higher roll. But there may be some strategic reasons to move certain pieces off at certain times. And as I mentioned, the first player to bear off all their pieces is declared the winner. Now, so there's a sort of pivotal point in this game, and you'll see it, and we'll talk about it when we actually play, is once the player's last checkers have crossed. So again, we're playing, moving into each other. Once those last checkers have crossed each other, then it literally is a race. There is no really strategy or tactics. It just becomes a dice rolling race. And that's I think that's actually the less fun part, because then you're literally just rolling dice back and forth. I enjoy the first part, which is why I play with more checkers opposite than I do on my side starting out. That's just a personal opinion there. All right, so a couple of variants here. These are just a couple odd things. So the doubling and stakes. So basically, the rule of the doubling thing is it was a way to bluff your way out of losing. So you could at any point declare to roll the doubling or to advance the doubling die. It's not actually rolled, which would then make the other player advance the stake. Sort of like raising in poker. You feel like you're losing, you can just buy your way out of the pot. And then the other player has to either accept the bet or forfeit. And there's some rules about how that has to happen. The same player can't do it twice, that sort of thing. Works great if you're actually betting and there's money or there's coins in baubles involved, but eh. And then Dutch Backgammon is a variant where all the pieces start off the board. So this is actually a lot. There's a lot of traditional race games that do this, start with pieces off the board and then they're placed on the board. Other than that, it's a very similar variant. And then AC Deucey again is another variant where all the pieces are off the board and there's a special rule for 1s and 2s. Again, AC Deucey. And there's a couple of games that are called AC Deucey that use those have similar rule sets with that as well. All right, a couple of reference things there. These are not historical references. These are just backgammon rules and histories, and some fun pictures. So these are some more modern boards that look medieval. This one actually looks like the one we're playing on tonight. That's kind of cool. These are from a couple of manuscripts, fairly old. Shows a backgammon. This is not quite the backgammon, the traditional board, but it's a similar version. Let me just get over here, and you see this. This looks like this is not Alfonso's manuscript. It looks like one of the similar drawings. The standard rule for using the dice is, as Spike can describe, you never add the dice together. You always make individual moves. Interesting enough, the webpage you got your board image from explained the move fairly well. Oh, cool. There you go. Thank you for that, Brian. So there's that. So I apparently play often things wrong, so that's good to know. Keisha will be very happy with that. That's the rule she argued that she was apparently right on, and I'll have to go admit that to her later. All right. So there, pretty pictures. That's that. All right, let me unshare this. Now we'll get the other screen up. Give me just one moment. And again, if anybody has questions or have comments or I do something wrong, it's entirely possible. Guys, spoiler alert, I am a flawed human being. I often just make up things if I don't know how to do them, especially with games. It's my favorite thing to do is make things up. But again, my general philosophy is there is no right or wrong. There is only what you and your opponent agree on. So it makes things a lot simpler. All right, so this is Board Game Arena. I'm going to scroll in here. We have the rules listed here, so let's go over their rules real fast. Let's see, game is fixed setup. Cool, we got that. Each player rolls 2 dice. Order, one piece both numbers. So yeah, one piece both numbers and numbers individual. That makes sense, yeah. Yep, looks good.
And doubling is not yet added to the game, so we don't even have to worry about it.
Cool. Yeah, so it looks like, yeah, so the only big rule there we didn't worry about was the can you move one piece twice or not, and that's the case. Everything is individually movement based on the dice. The numbers were never added together. That makes sense. All right, so Mike, I believe you were up first. You want to? I'm going to move this over real quick so I can shift this to here. I can see better. Perfect. There we go. All right. All right, so it looks like you've got a 7 there. It's already rolled for you, so you just got to move. See it moving? There we go. Cool. All right, and good to know. So it's letting you move your smaller number first. So that's also not a problem. Oh, it's rolling automatically. That's cool. Okay. All right, let's see. So I'm moving from the top this way. 2, 3, 4. All right, so it lights up. If I select this row, it does light up my 2 options. You would see that at least on my side. There's the 4. Can I move? Okay, and it will let me move the same checker, so that's good to know. Actually, we'll go ahead and do that. Yep. Right there. Yes, Board Gamer. I know it's not my turn. Stop yelling at me.
And there you go.
Look, haha. And with 2s, oddly enough. That's funny. And honestly, it makes the most sense. So when I've taught this game to people before, I've always kept an extra set of dice because it makes doubling make a lot more sense when you can see all 4 dice sitting there and you can remove them one by one as you use them. It's a lot easier to keep track of. Although, and having them be separate numbers, though, and not combinations of those numbers actually makes it way easier to explain, too. I'm going to go through and update my handout now that I have confirmed that more. Okay, let me make a note of that. Oh, it's my turn. I'm sorry. I was like, wait, nothing's happening. All right, so we got a 2, and we're going to go right there and bounce Fechin off, and then we'll do that and repeat. And 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll go 1, 2 there, and 1, 2 there. Oh, and there you go, double 3s. what you doing, Viking? You're so quiet today, man. Usually much more talkative over there.
Oh,
You're focused. I don't like when you get all focused. You're scaring me, man. Trying to beat me or something.
Practicing it had me going just before, like I mentioned, it had me going the other way. So I'm now basically playing in mirror and having to.
Oh, interesting. Oh, you were playing from the top down instead of the bottom up in this case.
Yeah, it had me going around to the left as opposed to around to the. So.
Gotcha. All right, let's see what we got here. I don't want to do that yet. All right, we're going to do that. Going to bounce that off. And, yeah. Do that. Sure, that'll work. Ah, rude.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Where you can't do that again.
All the possible numbers you could have rolled. All right, we'll go with 3 with that one. And 6 over here to that one to keep that guy safe. All right, let's see what I got here. 4 and a 2. Go 4 or 2, and we'll go 4. I may regret that, but we'll see. Oh, look. Yay. Take that one. Thank you very much. Yeah. Sure, we'll do that. It's inconvenient. I think we're just going to keep fighting back and forth on this in there, Fechin.
Yeah, we probably will.
I'll take it. I'm okay with it. Let's bounce that bad boy out. At least make some forward movement here. Yeah, because there's another one, of course. I gotta say, this Backgammon is probably one of my favorite race games. Like, I enjoy all of them, except Senate. Senate makes me want to pull my hair out. What little I have left. But I enjoy Backgammon. It is a very simple game, but it is, I don't know, it feels classic. It feels historic. It very much has that like tie to history for me. But also is still like intellectually challenging, and there's enough strategy to it that I don't get bored. But also there's still the luck of the die. That's true. The checkers do look a little like eyeballs. You're right, Kisa. Or like tiny Captain America shields, I guess, just in weird colors. No, can't move that one. Sure, we'll go that. Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, look.
What do you mean what do you mean I could not play? What? Oh. So I just lost my turn very quickly there. It didn't tell me.
Lost your turn on double fives.
Double fives, because you've got the 5 blocked. Yep. That's terrible.
Which wasn't even strategy on my part. That was just dumb luck.
Right. Well, I mean, you've got the 5 and the 6 blocked. So that's, I mean, that's not a bad place to be for you. There we go. Double 3s. I'll take it. All right, let's move you out first. Can't move those. 3 left. And we'll do that.
Well,
I've got nothing blocked though, so yeah, you're just gonna keep bouncing me back. Double 3s again. All right, there. We'll go there. Go there. And no, let's keep doing that. Move that stack over. So now I've got at least the 4 and the 5 blocked. Keep you out of that. All right, so we got, let's do that first, and then that second. So you'll have to use the 3 to get your first piece out, and then use your 1 elsewhere. All right, let's see. I got a 5 and a 2. Not much help there.
and my current strategy, which is no big secret, is trying to keep everything as safe as possible, but we keep bouncing that one piece back and forth.
Well, yeah, except the problem is I'm bouncing your same piece, and you're bouncing continuously new pieces of mine. So it's a battle that I am losing currently.
Yeah, especially
I'm going to have more pieces on your side of the board than I've started with, and that's not okay. And there's now a giant middle finger on your side of the board. That's how I feel about you, Viking. Well, there you go. Just gonna neater, sir. That's what you get. All right, I'm not petty. I'm not petty. Nope, not me. All right. Ooh, double 6s. That's what we like to see.
No, we don't.
We do. We do, in fact, make it.
On your turn.
All right, let's see here. Go there. Probably going to regret that, but that's okay. Go there. Calm down. And there. Yay, if I can't play with double 2s. Like it. 4 and 5. Now we got some movement happening. All right. This is what they call in football a spread defense there, I think so. I don't know football things. Don't judge me. That's a 2. Let's go there. Hi, Young. Bye, Young. Thanks for stopping in. Can't move that one. Can't move that one. Ugh. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. I figured I was going to regret that. And multiple times.
Are you going to miss the opportunity to bounce one mine too?
No, I'm not. Totally not going to miss. What? Where? Clearly I did, but where?
I think I was looking at it backwards. So
You okay? Yeah, yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, no, I'm going the other way. All right, let's see what we got here. I like that. I don't like the other option. Oh, oops. Not what I meant to do. Oh, well. That's what you get. All right. All right. I like it. How are we doing on time? 8:30? How we're doing good. Good. I'll see what the scoring, because it has a score running up here. I guess what that is. How it's scoring us.
yeah, you gained some points and then lost some right after.
Yeah. I've never seen Backgammon score before. Yeah, might as well go ahead and move that one. Yay! Fechin can't play. I like it. All right. There you go. Good double threes. We'll left you a little hold there. We have some new viewers. Hey, everybody, by the way. For those of you just joining, welcome. We are playing Backgammon for anybody who missed that. It's not giantly obvious on the screen there. I will, on the YouTube video, I'll post the link to my handout after I fix it tomorrow. Oh, interesting. It let me move, let me make a single move with 7 there. I wonder if it actually counted as 2 separate moves or not. Yeah, according to the score, I'm losing, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah,
Hold on, let me, I don't see anything down there about points.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't know.
The one I was practicing on had points too that made no sense, but
Right.
it was not near as involved as this one.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out a way to slow the actual piece movement down a little bit. I know there's a way to do some of that. Because that was a complaint I got from a previous stream, was that the piece movement was too fast. Let's see anyway. Work on that. Yeah, and that's probably what it was, Casey. You're correct. She said you can do it in one move. You have to have the space available. You're probably correct. That's what I was curious, because it doesn't actually show the movement as to whether that was the case or not. But yeah. Yay! And then we'll go. That'll work. Yay! Oh. Right, let's see here. All right, so yeah, so like this, I've got a 3 and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, or I've got a 4 and a 3. So yeah, all the options are available to me move the full 7 no matter what I do. So that makes sense. Right. Maybe it's okay. Maybe the score is counting down.
That may be the number of pips that it would potentially take to get you.
Oh, like, yeah, total number of spaces to get off the board with everything, maybe.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I could see that. So yeah, so let's see. So next time if we lose a piece, it should go up. Then we'll keep an eye on that. All right, yeah, we'll go 4. And then, yeah. Sure, 1, why not? Ooh, double ones and can't play. Oh, and I got double ones. Neat. All right, so I can't move that because it would move onto yours. But I can move that one. Okay, and there you go. So there's 6 pieces, so it doesn't limit it to 5. That's good to know. Move that guy to there. And move that guy to there. All right, Viking can't play again, but I can with double 2s. There. There. So this is the point where that having your home board full, or at least having something in every space or a lot of spaces, really matters. Because that one checker being stuck there is going to kill you for at least a couple turns.
Yeah, I've lost. I mean, there's no recovery.
Well, I mean, there is. You got to clear it out. There is. It's possible. It's just you're right. It is less likely to happen.
You're so far ahead that I'd have to be rolling doubles like nonstop, and
right. Which I've seen happen. I mean, I've watched things like Roll Game of Yore, somebody be 4 or 5 pieces ahead and the other person come back and win. It's entirely when you bring dice into a game.
Oh, There is a probability that I can come back, but yes.
All right, we'll go 5, and then we'll go not that. Yeah, that. There you go.
And now it's just a race.
Right. Yep, we're gonna go. Oh, that was. Oh, I misclicked. Oh no! Oh. And then that happens. One man. Well, fine. Well, that was rude. Did not appreciate that. Yep, there's 6. Yep. Yep. And oh, how the tables have turned. All right. Can I not move? Is that possible? I just want to not move, please. That'd be great. And of course, you roll a 1, because why would you not? And also a 2. Oh, but you were nice to me there. Oh, thanks, buddy. All right, well, got to do that.
I was nice, and you go and do that.
Yes. No. This cutthroat. We don't play nice here, sir. That's not how it works. There's no nice. I mean, I'm gonna regret it at some point, I'm sure. All right.
Yeah, when the next several batches of mead come up, and
rude. Wait, what?
It's your roll, 6 and a 4.
Yeah, so I'm clicking this one. It says you can only play 1 dice with this move. Oh, okay, so that's interesting. So there's a rule. All right, so it won't let me move this because doing that would limit me moving. So it makes me move the other one first. So if I move this one first, then I can use I can move both pieces, I guess, because I can move that and then that. So that's interesting. So I move that to there.
Try to keep you from, shooting yourself in the foot, I guess.
Right. But like, it wouldn't even let me do it if I wanted to. And because that honestly wasn't the best strategic move for me. Like, it was better for me to move one piece than move there. Because now I'm back in that spot. So, like, I appreciate its warning, but, like, would prefer it kept its mouth shut. All right. Ooh, double 2s. That'll work. There to there. That. Like that.
Of course.
And that. There we go. This guy just need like double 3s, maybe. That would work. 6 and a 4 is not great. I don't like it. No, you know what? We're not going to do that. That sounds painful. We'll do that. Yeah, good choice. Good choice. I made a good choice. I like it. Okay, apparently it wasn't as good choice as I thought it was. I apparently didn't see that one. Now I cannot play. Hooray for me. All right, let's get out of there. That. Like over in the little chat thing, it's like Cowboy rolled 5-5. It's a double. It's all like excited about it. All right, I'm stuck. Ooh, double sixes. Ooh, there we go. That's what I needed. All right, let's get this rolling, rolling, rolling. That's as far as we can roll in. Yep, okay. I didn't say a bad word. Nope, not me. Yeah. Like that one checker is going to be my downfall. Like I'm going to have everything stacked on the very last point. Oh, that one checker still stuck over there because of one misclick. Oh, wow. That's what I like to see. Oh, and guess what? There's another one. Thank you, sir. Get on back over there.
And I get double twos and can't use it.
That's right. All right. Now we got some moving. All right. Let's go. Yeah, let's go ahead and move the full movement there. All right. There you go. There's your double sixes. You can clear them out. Just get on past me. Just make the move. Ooh. You left one? I mean, you're safe now. So, all right. So
yeah,
now
I was hoping that I'd have a shot at interference a little bit longer.
Yeah. So okay. So now we passed the thresholds. We are now literally just at a race. So it's a. So fortunately, I got double six, so I can grab my furthest one out and move it out. Calm down, board gamer. All right. First piece is off the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was two really bad rolls for you. So this is where you'd be like, oh, I want to double the bet, please. Try to buy your way out of this game.
Yeah, exactly. But this is also where you then turn around and double the bet again and go, sure, really?
It literally turns into who has the bigger pockets at that point, which is why I don't like that rule at all from a gameplay perspective, at least. Okay, and yeah. So looking at, I've got 6 pieces left on the board. It takes 6 pips to get it off, and that's what my score is 6 currently. So yeah, I think that's definitely what that is. The number of pips. Yeah, we will play this out, but it's like it is actually mathematically impossible for me to lose at this point. All right, one more move. Let me see some doubles. I want to see some doubles. Come on. Oh. That one. There's that one. Oh, board game. Trophies. Woo! First victory. Yay. Oh, let's see what gives me. That's it? Come on, board gamer. You're disappointing me. Usually it throws up like 36 trophies. You're like, you get trophies for everything. Congratulations. That was fun, Fechin. Thank you for playing with me. So yeah, I love Backgammon. It's not my favorite board game ever as far as in the 250 some odd board games that I own. But definitely out of the medieval games, it's probably my favorite that I don't get to play nearly enough. So what are your thoughts on this is what you said you're like your 3rd game playing?
Well, long ago, I remember having learned Backgammon.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely fun, but it's not nearly as strategic as chess.
Right.
But there's a lot more strategy that does go into it than you think at first glance.
It definitely is. It's that balance. So with chess and even like chess and checkers, anything that is strictly strategy based, right? It's all skill of the player. There's no luck at all. Literally, you almost have to make a mistake for a lot of the games. With Backgammon, there's both the strategy aspect of knowing when to move pieces, how to move pieces, right? But there's also the luck of the dice of you have to have the right dice rolls and use them correctly. So I like that balance because it allows newer players to be good at it. I mean, Kisa beat me senselessly, and I've been playing Backgammon and other games for years.
I came back from, there's no way I could win to almost being able to seize.
Right. And that's all it takes is one bad move, one bad dice roll, and then it happens. So I like that because it keeps you playing consistently and sort of evens the playing field. I mean, somebody who's played 100 games versus somebody who played 1 game still has a fairly even chance of winning. And I think a lot of the race games have that dynamic. There's some that have significantly less skill base. Game of the Goose and Roll Game of Yore. Roll Game of Yore has some because it is still there are some choices that can be made. But yeah. Okay. She does not beat me always.
Quote.
I'll go ahead. There you go. She beats me always. She does not beat me always. I let her win sometimes. Because you keep the captain happy. No, she beats me a lot. I will give her that. I have won my fair share, but she beats me pretty regularly. So, anywho. All right, so I think it is that's that for the night, man. We're right at 1 hour, so that's cool.
So what are you looking forward to coming up?
That's a good question. I think let's see. Next week we've got Fox and Geese. So it'll be my first strictly sort of chess style game. That's not a dice game, not a strategy, or not a luck based game at all. I've got working on a new one even that nobody's actually seen yet. Somebody sent me a math game. It's like Arithromancy. It's a 16th century math based game. So that'll be what I'm developing as a new thing, just to try something completely different that's outside of my wheelhouse. Of usually most of mine have been either chess games or race games, but figured a math game would be interesting. I tried very recently doing a class on flirting games for the Corazons College and failed miserably. It was my first epic failure in the gaming world. I could find anecdotal evidence and could find some vague references, but because I don't speak doctor and don't speak French, I could not find good details on what the games actually were. But that's sort of in the back of my head goals. I'm going to get that one fielded at some point. It's a word game that was used in the courtesans area, sort of in the court personas for flirting. And they use it sort of to break the ice so they can still be polite, but also say they were down for fun time, I guess. So medieval people were weird, dude. So. Anyways, Fechin, thank you as always for joining me tonight. I had a blast.
My pleasure.
Looking forward to having you in the future. And thank you all for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. So this has been Cal Barter and Fechin in Cal Barter's Corner. Thanks, guys.